Hi everyone, how are you today? So today I just want to talk about some of the things that have helped me along the way. I have now lost 163 pounds. I'm maintaining, but I'm down a little bit, 155. I used to weigh 310 pounds, so I'm over 160 pounds naturally. And I just wanted to give you some of my things that I've learned that have really worked for me, maybe helpful. The first thing is that I realized after I was never a yo-yo dieter, but I would lose a lot, and then sometimes I'd keep it off for a little while and then come back. Sometimes it would almost immediately go back. Last time I kind of got a little too hungry, overdid things, and it was my least wise choice of ways to lose weight, let's just put it that way. And I binged my way up about 60 pounds, 65 pounds. Not my best thing. I never did gain all of it back, but I gained most of it back. So I realized I had to fundamentally change the way that I did things. I needed to have a different relationship with food. Enjoy food, but not have culinary delights every day. That's what my brother used to say. Not every day needs to be a culinary delight. And I now understand what he's saying. It's not that you don't eat things that you like. I eat things I enjoy, but they're not, the most hyper palatable. Just a few more bites, kind of, or maybe another piece, kind of food that, that's not an everyday thing for me because I obviously can't handle it. So what I learned to do was I learned how to, obviously, most of us know you have to be in a calorie deficit. Now what that is scientifically, it's a lot more complex, and we're not a human calculator. There's way too many variables to know exactly what your calories, well, you can figure out pretty much what your calories in are, but calories out, there's so much to that. There's so much to the food that you eat, whether you're getting enough of the fidgeting, walking around, not actual exercise activity, but activity that you don't count, you don't realize you're doing, just everyday living without the exercise part in there. There's how well it converts to ATP, which I will talk about someday. But that's how well, that your calories can be converted to energy, oxygen in the cell, which will then give you the ability to expel CO2, which is mainly how you lose the weight, the fat, basically. It's breathing it out. So there's a lot to that, and I'm not a total expert on that one by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, I learned that I started paying closer attention to what people who had lost a significant amount of weight did and who keep it off. And they changed their relationship with food. They changed their life in a couple ways that way, and with fitness. And they usually will do some resistance training along with it. And we're not talking you're in the gym every day. Really, honestly, 2-3 times a week, that's enough. You don't have to be in there for an hour or more. You don't have to be, if you want to, you can, but the point is to not overdo it. So I don't want to do it anymore. I only do enough that you want to do it, to challenge oneself. That's what I found out. Oh, like me now, I'm like, okay, I'm doing more of the maintenance realm here now. Obviously, I'm not zooming up the calories just yet. I'm, slowly working on it. And I'm feeling stronger in the gym. And now with my squats on the Smith machine, which is a bar that's attached to a hydraulic device. So I can't fall over with it, basically. And I'm like, okay, I'm not quite, my femur isn't quite parallel with the ground yet, but it's getting closer. I'm about 85 degrees. I want 90 degrees. and I can do 15 pounds. I want to get where I can have 15 pounds each side. So I want to have 25 pounds on each side and be able to get to 90 degrees. And that's something I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to getting stronger in some areas, learning some new exercises, things that'll, help me out with filling out a little bit of the loose skin that I have with some muscle and that kind of thing. And I preserved quite a bit of muscle, which, along the way, from 240 down, I was doing some resistance training, and that helped preserve muscle. And it's not that, walking and things like that don't help to some extent, but to really help, that's what I need to do. And I wasn't doing huge sessions to begin with. And it's made me, be able to weigh more and still, look like I weigh less, and to help me continue to lose weight. And I also, can eat more because more of my weight is muscle. I don't know exactly what my body fat percentage is. I can use the U.S. Navy method, and it says right now 23%, but I know that I carry a little bit extra, not as much as I used to, but a little bit extra in my lower part of my upper arms, and my thighs, my legs have a little bit extra. It's not near as much as it used to be. So, even though I don't believe I'm as low as 23%, I really don't. I could be 25 or 26%. It's possible, but that's not too bad. That's pretty good, and mostly for my age, and it makes a big difference. But it's nothing you have to do all these things at once. Just start somewhere, and that's what I did. I started somewhere. I started with the diet. I said, okay, let's see if I can eat more whole foods. Let me get rid of the ultra-processed foods. I've talked about it before, the Kevin Hall study, and how on average people eat about 500 calories more a day if they eat ultra-processed foods, and they eat that much less if they aren't. Now, versus, your unprocessed foods. Well, obviously there's hedonic foods that you can make with culinary processed, unprocessed, whatever kind of foods, and it can be, you can eat more of that, and that's fine once in a while, not a problem. But keeping it more basic, and but good foods, and learning to make good friends with it, and I have the taste for it these days. So that's where that is at, and what exactly I keep it balanced, because I don't have the Chris Fabulous will not like this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. I don't have the food noise, because I'm eating nutritious food, balanced wise, things that I like, and I, occasionally have a little ice cream, good quality ice cream. That's why I go with, is it quality? Well, then I will try some. There was a piece of lovely coffee and chocolate cake that I had at a birthday party on Sunday. You bet I had some, and I enjoyed every bite. It was totally worth the calories and going up a little bit on the scale. Not a big problem at all. So, it's not like I never can have things. I let myself have a little something sweet every day, so I have some honey in my coffee. Often that's the only sugar that I have during the day, but sometimes not. Sometimes I have a natural soda, or something like that, or I'll have a little bit of ice cream or whatever. My calories are going up a little bit, but it has to be good quality. So I've become a bit of a food snob. It's like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? And once in a while, there's still some things that are a little junky that once in a while I'll let myself have some tortilla chips, or something like that. Maybe a few potato chips, or I might even let myself have an Oreo occasionally. It's not the end of the world. But anyway, so walking, that's the other thing. Walking dulls the appetite. Much better than exercise machines at the gym, which usually actually makes people more hungry. So watch out for that. A little bit's fine, but a whole bunch, it may be shooting oneself in the foot. But anyway, that's why I learned to walk more of it. It became a habit I began to enjoy, especially the lighter I got, the more I wanted to become light because I felt so much better walking. I could do a little, jogging, made me feel so much better. I hadn't done that in decades. And so, there's little challenges along the way that come with exercise. That's what keeps it from being boring. And right now it's a nice day. I haven't had a day in the 70s. And in all of July was the second hottest July on record. I didn't even realize that. I guess I can handle the heat better. But I'm taking advantage of this and getting a longer walk in because I like to be able to keep up the ability to have a longer walk. So I'm getting that in, and moving along at a decent pace. But it's something I enjoy. I have beautiful trails here in Colorado. I don't have to do the same one over and over and over and over again. I do like the lake one, but I haven't been around the lake in quite some time, since probably mid-June was the last time I did that. It was a cool enough day, not super, beating down sun and everything. And I may not get another chance to do this until sometime in September after Labor Day. So I'm taking full advantage of it. But anyway, that's just some of me and some of, how things have changed with a couch potato who loved to make cakes and breads and has specialty cheeses all the time. And not that bread in itself is a problem, but, I would eat way too much of it with, too much butter, too much cheese, too much stuff like that, right? So I just had to learn to change things around, and I did. And I enjoyed my life better. Whatever little pain I had changing my habits was totally worth it. It really wasn't that big of a deal. I just had to be determined to make that change and keep doing the same thing. And now it's a habit. Yeah, I like to walk. I like to eat my fruit. I like to eat healthier foods most of the time. Just once in a while, sure. It's nice to have something else. But it will become a habit if you make it part of your life and really embrace it. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Think about the long term, not just take off the weight. Doesn't matter. Well, I think it does matter how you do it, personally. So, that's my opinion. You all have a great day. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.